I think what made me want to do this is I saw a lot of kids on TikTok kind of bitching about how they don't make enough money doing blue collar
Mm-hmm.
work,
Mm-hmm.
and they've been doing it for like a year or two, and I just every time I see it, I'm like, do you really think you can go anywhere doing anything else and just like make a bunch of money just right off the bat?
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
I don't understand where people are getting this idea that it's all immediate. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, they see the kid or the guy who's like, I make, 250K a year doing this, like as a lineman, like Cody that we were talking to. It's like Cody didn't
mhm,
start making that. Like he did his apprenticeship, he did all this stuff. He had to get his cards, his certs, all that stuff. But you just see like, no, that dude drives a really cool truck. Why can't I drive a cool truck? Like we're at the same job site. It's like because you haven't put in the 10 years that Cody put in, or the 15. It's and every once in a while we have someone like that at work of like, you're like I should make what like it'll be the apprentice. It's like coming up. And like, well, I should make what the journeyman make. Why am I not a journeyman? I was like, cool. I was like, you want to see what the journeyman does all day that you don't pay attention to? It's like, okay, you got to go do all the math. You got to go figure that out, lay that out, and no one is going to help you. I was like, like we will help you, but like, because we all work together. I was like, but if you want to know why they make what they make, is because they have 50 years of experience to like, okay, if we experience this problem, I can solve it. Whereas if you get in that problem, you're like,
mhm,
I'm gonna panic. What do I do? It's like that's why they make the money they do because they can solve that problem without calling the next guy down the line. And you only get that from the time and experience of solving problems. And that's not to say that like you shouldn't make a good wage if you're really good at your job as an apprentice. But like if you want to keep furthering steps, it just takes more and more time, like you said. You're at
yeah.
10,000
Well,
hours,
and
if you will.
we've talked about it before, how people should view their first 4 years of working in a trade as like they're going to school.
Hmm.
Um, you're, and that's such a cool thing about being in a trade that you can uh, be be getting paid to learn. But most people, if they're taking the going to college route, they're spending 4 years not getting paid they're paying money to learn something to
Hmm.
then get out into the field and really not make that much money either because what you're learning in the school doesn't really help either for the workplace. It's just
Hmm.
giving you a baseline of skills and ability and knowledge to set you up in a certain field. So even after your 4 years in a trade, you can still expect to be like an entry level person. And I think that's what's
Hmm.
hard because people don't want to sit there and make very little money. And it's not always very little money for a whole 4 years, but they don't want to sit there and make very little money, even though they're getting paid to learn to do it.
Hmm.
And it really should be like the 4 year thing where you're training, you're learning, you're trying to take on new responsibilities and opportunities, and then after that 4 years, you can really see a lot of accelerated growth in what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, because like you said, I mean, even certain positions that because like college, you're gonna put in the 4 years and you're not guaranteed, right? Nothing's guaranteed other than like even a doctor is like a doctor is a high value career, a high value degree, high value career. But even those guys aren't gonna they're not gonna net money until they're in their 30s because they have such a high bill,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or even their 40s
Uh huh.
that they got to pay off their school. So they're playing the long game of like, okay, if I front load all this work, by the time I get here, I'm gonna be able to enjoy my life and like I'm still young enough, right? But we're in our trades and stuff like that, it's like yeah, you got to front load a lot of work because you got to learn everything. But then by year 4, 5, 6, 7, it really starts doing the same thing, and you're going up or like whatever it may be because you have all the skills you've accumulated if you've been paying attention while you're there.